Hello, and welcome to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host, Doug Bartosh. I'm also your city manager. And we're here today with Bill Tennant, who's the commander of the American Legion here in Cottonwood. And we're going to learn about the American Legion and how, really, what its importance is to our community. So with that, let me introduce Bill.
How do you do?
And great to have you here. And tell me about the American Legion. One, how did it ever get started here in this country?
Oh, in this country? Well, actually, it started right after World War I. 20 officers got together, and they were led by Theodore Roosevelt, who became our president later. They got together in Paris, France on March 19th, 1919. And then talked about putting together a veterans organization. And what, 8 months later, September 19th, 1919, it was official. The U.S. government had incorporated it all, and it became an actual organization. It spread through the country since. And I don't know, that's back in the days when the government worked kind of fast.
Yeah, certainly as compared to today. And so what was the thought behind it? Why did they feel like they needed an organization like that?
Well, you know, I'm not really sure on that one, because I looked up the VFW, and I'm a member of the VFW as well. And I found that the VFW actually became an organization in 1899. So an organization did exist, but there may have been the complication that VFW qualifications require combat or combat area, and American Legion does not. A person can actually become a member of the American Legion for having served 1 day and gotten out by some medical reason or something like that. As long as they had an honorable discharge, they can become a member of the American Legion.
So, yeah, you almost wonder if that's where the American Legion got its start, for those folks who probably during World War I weren't necessarily in a combat area.
That may very well be, yeah. May very well be. I'm not real sure.
We're creating history or making it up here, I don't know, one or the other. So, here in Cottonwood, what's the history of the Legion here?
Well, I understand. I did some research on one of our members. I got a call from a historical group. I was a photographer in Washington, D.C. He wanted to know about a member that was from this area. His name was Alejandro Moiza. And just so happens, we used to have an American Legion in Jerome. It was post 27, I think, that was named after him. He was evidently a grocery delivery boy in Jerome. Died in the Battle of Ardennes in 1918. Had won the American Medal of Honor, I'm told, and the French Medal of Honor individually. He was a machine gunner. And they named the post after him. Well, when Jerome started to basically go out of business, the American Legion was defunct and moved to Clarkdale. And then Clarkdale ended up losing it to Cottonwood, which is now, it went to the, what is now the Boys Club.
Okay.
Or was the Boys Club?
Boys, yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And then after a few years of being there, it ended up needing to expand, and I believe we had some land donated to where we are now, and we had a building purposely built, and we've got a very, very, very nice facility.
Yeah, and it is a beautiful facility, and you were talking about the Boys and Girls Club, which is now the city's youth center, which is essentially behind City Hall.
Right.
And so as I recall, they actually built, the American Legion built that building.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And I wonder what year that was.
94 is when they broke ground.
Oh, really?
And they completed the building in 96.
The one behind City Hall?
Oh, no, that one I don't know. I have no idea when that was built.
I got to believe that that's probably back in the 30s, 40s.
Yeah, probably.
That building's had a lot of renovations to it. So it seems like the history of the American Legion has kind of followed the history of the mining industry here.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Probably starting in Jerome, when the population center was Jerome.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah,
and then moving to
absolutely.
Clarkdale, and then to Cottonwood, which is now kind of the population center for the area.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I think you're right.
So the new building was built in, you said, broke ground in '94.
Yeah, mid-'90s is when they broke ground and completed the building, so '96, yeah.
And you were here then?
Oh, yeah.
Back in '94?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, and you brought up the VFW, and you talked about the difference in terms of membership and what it requires to be a member. Is there a lot of cooperation between the two organizations, though?
Yeah, we're all about the same purpose. We're about the veterans, first and foremost, but we're about veterans' families, we're about community, we're about kids, education. We'd give scholarships to, certain students that exemplify themselves, okay? There's just a lot going on, and it's things that well, the American Legion being nonprofit, it's kind of difficult to handle financially. Right. So all the time we're out looking for fundraisers or donations and things like this. One of the things that American Legion Post 25 is trying to do right now is, in conjunction with the other American Legions in the Verde Valley, we're going to start an air rifle shooting team for kids. I mean, it's national, so it's really a good event. I went to an event down at Ben Avery's, watched the kids shoot. I'll tell you what, they're awesome.
Now, when you say air rifle, is that the paintball?
No, no, it's a pellet that they shoot.
Okay.
It's got like 2,000 PSI behind this thing. But the focus that these kids had while they were setting up and aiming, proper style, proper positioning. The kids were just really amazing in watching.
So let's go back to, kind of the mission of the Foreign Legion. What is that?
You mean the VFW?
Yeah.
VFW?
No, I mean
American Legion?
American Legion. I keep calling it the Foreign Legion.
Well, basically, again, it's to take care of or help veterans, people that have been in war. I mean, we have a bar, of course, so we have a place for them to meet, and they meet every day. I mean, sometimes they'll come in just to have a Coke or a cup of coffee or a drink, We have dinners that they can come and they bring their whole family. We have tournaments, we have darts, we have pool, we have bingo, we have raffles. We just have all kinds of things to give them a place to go. I know myself, I really don't care about going to the public places around here. There's too much drama. People are into drama. And at the Legion, it's real quiet and it's laid back.
Okay.
So we're just trying to take care of the community and everything.
I imagine it probably kind of recreates that camaraderie that you felt when you were in the service.
Oh,
too.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
I mean, talk about things, you understand the military environment, and be able to talk about world
Funny
events.
thing is, there's very little war talk. People aren't really talking their past.
Yeah.
I mean, it's past, it's gone.
Do you talk a lot about the present, though?
Oh boy. Oh boy, do we ever. Yeah. Yeah, that's the hottest topic.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Well, let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we'll come back and learn a little bit more about the American Legion. Come back and join us.
Not on my watch, they say, as they volunteer to serve. Not on my watch, they say, as they leave their families behind to keep the rest of ours safe. As they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So, not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve, the therapists they need to walk again, the treatment they need to talk again, the lifetime of day-to-day help they need to live full and independent lives. When there's no more government funding, or a nursing home seems like the only option, or everyone says there's no hope for recovery, we won't leave one warrior behind. not on our watch. Find out how you can do your part at findwwp.org.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host, Doug Bartosh, and we're here with Bill Tennant from the American Legion, and just learning about what the American Legion's all about. And so Bill and I were talking about some of his members and some of the oldest members. I mean, who do you have in terms of representing the war, I guess, the furthest back in history?
Probably right now, because I don't know of any World War I veterans out there. Our oldest would be the World War II veterans, one of which was interviewed on this program not too long ago. His name was Fred Piper Sr. Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot about his story, but I understand he was in the World War II theater in Germany or over Germany, Europe. B-17 belly gunner.
Right.
Well, I guess they call it turret gunner. Now, from what I understand, he was on 36 missions. I mean, he's a very interesting man. We've got a lot of Korean War veterans, a lot of Vietnam War veterans. We're getting a lot of new guys, from Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait. I mean, we've gotten a flag donated recently with 2 T-shirts that was Desert Storm. It's pretty good. I mean, it really is. We've got some real characters.
I bet. And certainly I know Fred. I mean, everybody knows Fred in town, I think, and he is an interesting guy, mm-hmm. and his war record is really commendable and really quite amazing.
Right. Yeah.
He was actually wounded at one time and
wow.
and barely survived. Fred comes down and talks to me every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about a variety of things, but mostly, it's what's bugging Fred that
right.
day. So
I see, I've known Fred and his son for years, but I never knew he was wounded. We just don't talk war stories.
Yeah, yeah, and I can understand that. You don't want to relive a lot of that, mm-hmm. I would think, and that's history and past.
Right.
And now the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you talked about some of the programs you have, and how do you guys make your money and keep your doors open?
Again, it's through fundraisers, donations, sales, raffles. Right now we're raffling a motorcycle.
Oh, that's right.
And the winner of the raffle has the option of the motorcycle, which is an older bike but runs very well,
right.
or $5,000 in cash. So they have an option of taking one or the other. And we do like games. One of the games we had last night is bar bingo. It's a little different than real bingo. Mm-hmm. Bar bingo, the rules of silence and everything are pretty much out the window. Yeah, people have a lot of fun at it, though. We make a little there. We make a little off the bar. We make a little off the kitchen. Thursday night dinners. Tonight's fish fry. Okay. And we've got a new chef, and very proud of him. He's kind of expanded the menu. I mean, he's got cod, 3 kinds of shrimp, catfish, salmon, chicken, steak, lobster. I mean, it's very impressive fish fry.
So a little better than MREs, or?
Oh boy.
So,
yeah.
And then you were talking about, I guess you rent the hall out.
Yes,
too.
we do. Yeah, we rent the hall out.
And what kind of events do you rent it out for? And
oh man, we've had wedding receptions, weddings, as a matter of fact, Christmas parties, birthday parties. We even had one. I can't remember what it's called now. When a lady's going to have a baby.
Oh, a shower.
Yes, a shower. That's right. We even had one of those. But we have a lot of celebration of lives. We have a lot of those. And when they're a member, we don't even charge for the rental of the hall, no matter how many people it is. So we try to take care of American Legion, even if they're not our members. They may be a member of another post somewhere else, and still no charge.
And how many posts are there here in the Verde Valley?
Three American Legion posts.
And where are those located at?
One is in Camp Verde, that's post 93. And then we have Post 135, which is in Cornville,
Okay.
which is just up and coming. They just purchased some land. They don't have a building yet. They're meeting in the Cornville Fire Department.
Okay.
But we all pretty much work together, trying to get things accomplished. There's some good organizations, good people out there.
Do you have like a major initiative that you're pursuing at this point?
Post 25 right now in Cottonwood, our biggest goal right now is getting our parking lot redone.
Okay.
We've got a major drive on funding the parking lot, and that may take a while. But yeah, I think we need all the help we can get on that one. We got a very big parking lot.
Yeah, you do have a big parking lot. Yeah, and I did buy a raffle ticket for the motorcycle.
Oh, good.
So, and I'm going to win it. So, you know. But yeah, it's a nice looking motorcycle. So if anybody's interested, can they come up to the Legion and buy it?
Yeah, it's not exclusive to a membership. It's not at all.
And my assumption is that if somebody wants to come up there and see what the Legion's all about, kind of tour around, they're welcome to do that.
Come on up. Yeah, I'm generally around. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're constantly on the hunt for new members. I mean, we need all the members we can get. We need ideas from members on, what would they like to have going on at the Post. I'm running out of ideas. My mind is limited. But yeah, we want to make it as fun and friendly for the families as we can.
Okay. And then how many members do you have?
Well, right now, all inclusive, now this will be, excuse me, Legionnaires, the veterans, and Ladies Auxiliary, which are wives or daughters of veterans, and the Sons, which again are, sons of veterans. We've probably got between 1,000 and 1,200 members.
Wow.
So we've got quite a few, many of which live out of state. Well, some of which live out of state, but they like it here.
Yeah.
So they come back. And one thing we have in our favor that a lot of members like is that we're a non-smoking facility. So, that's kind of nice.
That is
kind of rare for a veterans organization.
Yeah, I'm sure. So you mentioned the auxiliary. Are you beginning to see female regular members at this point? Yeah, we've gotten a few ladies that are actually veterans, and they're signing up. One of them is my first vice officer. She was a commander for a while, and she was in the Air Force in the 70s, 80s, something like that. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we're getting a number of them. We're after anybody and everybody. Come in with your knowledge, come in with your expertise, and have fun.
Let's go ahead and take our next break, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the American Legion, and then talk about your military history as well. Come back and join us.
Hi there, I'm Kyle Benedict. News Director Paul David and I would like you to join us for Countywide every Tuesday and Thursday right here on Verde Valley TV. We cover all sorts of different topics from events in our local news. We bring in nonprofit organizations and police and fire agencies from around the county. It's a lot of fun, great information. Again, Countywide every Tuesday and Thursday. Cable 1, Channel 56, and Suddenlink Cable Channel 2. For times and listings, go to verdevalleytv.com. Countywide every Tuesday and Thursday. See you then.
To it as well.
Death.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host, Doug Bartosh, and we're here with Bill Tennant, who's the commander of the American Legion. And let's ask Bill. Tell us about your military history.
Not much to tell on my military history. I got out of high school out of Flagstaff in '72. Following day, I was on a bus to San Jose, California. About 2 months later, I found myself in Fort Ord, going to basic training. I had signed up voluntarily for military intelligence. After basic, went to Massachusetts, a place called Fort Devens, got trained as Morse intercept operator. I really, to this day, hate Morse code. I ended up in Berlin, Germany. Got out of Morse code as quickly as I could and started working. Well, we worked intelligence, so our enemy was the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And we spied on the spies. That was our mission. And I don't know, there's not a lot to tell. I ended up being over there 8 years. I loved it. It's a fabulous place. Busted 5 spooks. And I'm on a lifelong no talk. There's not a lot to say.
So I shouldn't click my fingers on the table.
Right. Who I worked for. I was in a group called the Army Security Agency. It was disbanded after Vietnam. We actually worked for a little-known group at the time called NSA.
Okay.
People that had heard of NSA would ask us what it stood for, and we told them no such agency. So now everybody knows who NSA is.
So you were in the Army then?
Army, yes.
Army, okay. And you did total of 8 years, or?
No, I only did 4 years active and DOD afterward, Department of Defense.
Okay, okay. That sounds like an interesting
It was the best job I've ever had.
Did you learn how to speak German when you were over there?
Yeah. Yeah, my landlord even thought I was German.
Oh, really? So that's an interesting experience. And
it was great. It really was.
And have you had the opportunity to come back and use those skills here? I guess.
I don't know. A lot of it I thought was just kind of common sense. I volunteered with the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office. Yeah. Volunteered with the Cottonwood PD. Yeah. A lot of that just comes in, investigative,
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, it's great. It sounds like you had a great experience.
I did.
And certainly a great opportunity, and I'm sure it's great to be back here in this country and commanding the Foreign Legion.
American Legion.
American Legion. Gotta keep saying that. I guess I better join.
I have to speak French if it was Foreign Legion.
Yeah. So you ended up missing the Vietnam War.
Yeah, I didn't have boots on the ground over there. Vietnam was still going on.
Yeah.
In fact, I actually missed an opportunity that sometimes I regret. Out of basic, they offered me OCS. I guess I tested well. It's Officers Candidate School.
Right.
But I knew that would change my contract. So I figured they would make me a ground pounder, infantry, stick me in Vietnam as a second lieutenant, and that wasn't really what I wanted. I like that top secret spookdom kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was fun.
Well, and talking about Vietnam, we just celebrated Welcome Home Vietnam Vets, and
Excellent
I know
event.
you were out there, and,
Yeah.
and I participated in the motorcycle ride and helped plan it. But yeah, that turned out to be a very nice event.
It did. Yeah.
And it's great to work with those guys and talk to those guys and get an understanding of how difficult it was for them coming back from Vietnam, and some of the abuse they took, and so the welcome back is long overdue. And,
oh, absolutely.
And organizations like yours, I'm sure, really help try and again show that appreciation for what they did.
On that topic, there was a time even when Vietnam vets weren't allowed in VFWs or American Legions.
Really?
Because it was not declared a war. It was their excuse.
Yeah.
Even though they were sent over by the government for a police action, it wasn't declared a war, so they didn't qualify, is what they were saying. But yeah, too, I mean, some of the abuse you got, I remember I wasn't even in Vietnam, but in uniform one time, walking through O'Hare Airport in Chicago, I had a lady coming at me, and she gave me the baby killer story.
Yeah.
I mean, I still remember what that woman looked like.
Yeah, I bet. Well, and that's like I say, a shame.
Yeah.
So the future, what's coming up for the American Legion, and
well, I'm trying to get a lot more organizations going. We have the opportunity for committees of all types. We have radio that we're putting in right now. It's going to be a shortwave radio for emergency purposes, you know, disaster or whatever. That's all been donated. It's going to be excellent. That's part of an American Legion thing as well, but we also have committees that we sponsor baseball teams, you know, Little League,
yeah.
Boy Scouts. We sponsor scholastic opportunities for kids. There's just so many things that the American Legion is into. I mean, they've got pamphlets for everything. There'd probably be a stack about this high of just opportunities for people to utilize and get involved. Every year for the past couple of years, we've donated dinners to needy families for like Christmas dinners. We have one of our ladies auxiliary members works for one of the counseling centers here in town, and she kind of screens who is in more need than someone else. Okay, and we try to help them out, give them something to celebrate instead of sitting around with peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Now, does the American Legion have a honor guard?
We do not, but that is another thing I would like to get going just exclusively for our post. What we have right now is an honor guard, color guard kind of thing, but it's a combination of all three posts.
Okay.
135, 93, and 25.
Which is, that's probably nice.
It is. It is. It gives us an opportunity to work together.
And so, your location, where are you located at?
We're on, our address is 480 South Calvary Way. Well, we're just past the hospital turnoff up 89A, heading toward Jerome. On the left, right behind Quality Inn.
And close to the airport?
Yeah, close to the airport, yeah.
You can
In fact, they're constantly buzzing the place. Yeah.
And then, anything you need from the community? I mean, you talked about the parking lot and the
well, we're always
there.
looking for donations. I mean, if anyone feels that they can help, it would be greatly appreciated. But if you do, please come in, check us out, see what we're about. We're not really an old folks bar.
Yeah.
You know, there's quite a bit going on that is family oriented, and I'd really love to see people come in.
Yeah, I know I've been in there a couple of times for some events, a retirement and a couple of other things, and like you say, it really is a nice facility, and certainly if people have a need, it's a great place to hold an event.
Oh yeah, it is. It really is.
Absolutely.
I mean, if anyone wants to call us, we're in the phone book, but the number is 634-3004.
Okay.
We're on Facebook. We're also on the website. Shoot, if you're interested, just hit the website, search, and go to American Legion, Cottonwood, Arizona, and it'll pull it up.
I'll have to do that and check out your website.
Yeah.
So, well, great. And you were saying that you're getting ready to run for another year as the commander, and
yeah, I think so. I think so. It's the worst full-time job I've ever had. It's morning to night, 7 days a week, but it's rewarding.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So it'll be my third year.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. Well, that really does it for our show today, but thanks for coming on, Bill.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for your service to the community and to the American Legion, and to all those members out there that belong to the American Legion. I'm sorry I kept saying Foreign Legion, but we appreciate your service, and thanks for all you do for our community. Come back and join us again on Inside Cottonwood.